This commenter is asking if I'll talk more about fetch as a compulsive behavior, how to interrupt that compulsive behavior and help the dog find a behavior that better serves them. We do have a whole collection of videos on this topic under our fetch collection. In roughly 700 more followers, we can have actual playlists, but until then, the fetch collection is a good place to see our conversation on this topic. I am happy to go back over some of these concepts here, though. So when fetch develops as a compulsive behavior, we are often seeing that the dog is hyper-focused on the fetch item. They are distressed when the game is paused, interrupted, or ended. They're not engaging socially or with the environment when the fetch item is present. These dogs are not having fun, although their behavior is often mistaken for really enjoying fetch. What we're seeing is actually closer to how someone behaves when they are addicted to something, rather than when someone is enjoying an activity. And this is often used as a coping skill when dogs either previously or currently are chronically under or overwhelmed. So the first thing to do in this scenario is to recognize that the dog is not having fun, but is actually in distress, and they need support. Then we want to discontinue engaging in this activity with the dog. So we want to get those items, whether it's a ball or a frisbee or a specific toy, we want to get them out of the house. A lot of times these dogs will fixate on where the item is kept, so we want the item to no longer be kept there anymore if that's the case. In the case of compulsive behavior around fetch, we want to discontinue engaging in that activity altogether. So we don't just want to replace that activity with a new item. Sometimes I see dogs who are on their way to developing fetch as a compulsive behavior, but they're not quite there yet. In those cases, sometimes we can swap out the item and play on-off switch games instead of just straight fetch. But for dogs who have fully developed a compulsive behavior around this item, that is not the case. I might be able to take that item and now use it in nose work. So instead of having the dog engage in a high arousal activity involving, let's just say, the ball, I can now have them do an activity that will better serve them by bringing them more into a thinking brain, seeking, searching. We're getting dopamine, we're getting endorphins, we're calming as we sniff and lower the head beneath the body, we're building confidence, we're building optimism anytime we do nose work. Sometimes for these dogs we can do that with the fetch item, sometimes not. Sometimes we might want to still do that activity, but with a different item altogether. Generally speaking, these dogs need the support of a behavior consultant and perhaps a veterinary behaviorist. This is absolutely something to discuss with your general practitioner. This is a mental health issue. This behavior has developed due to other stressors. So the dog might have an anxiety disorder, they might have underlying pain, they might be traumatized. So we want to get to the root cause of this behavior. The compulsive behavior is often a symptom. Often these dogs benefit from behavior medication to support them. And often we are looking at underlying comorbid physical symptoms, pain or discomfort, GI issues, allergies are often comorbid with this sort of behavior.